this is my first day in Sayulita, Mexico. I've just arrived as a solo female traveler here. Jamie's not with me, and I'm really excited to rate Sayulita. I want to figure out what is the lifestyle here, the cost of living, food, security, and just the general vibe of what it's like to be here as a solo female traveler in Sayulita. I will be working from here a little bit too, so I will be on the hunt for digital nomad cafes and hangouts and try to see if I can also make some friends whilst I'm here. So I'm super excited, guys. Let's go and check it out. I'm bringing you guys with me, and I'm currently staying at Casa de Pepe, which I chose because the location is great, and also there's a co-working space there, free yoga and all of that. So I think it's a good place to start. All right, let's go discover Sayulita. You've arrived at your destination. Okay, but before starting the rating, let's start with my location and staying at Casa de Pepe. So as a solo female traveler, I 100% recommend Casa de Pepe. This is not sponsored whatsoever, but I just feel like it was a really prime location. It's only 2 minutes away from the beach. It's surrounded by shops and restaurants, and there's something going on pretty much every single night, from homemade pizza to DJs, flash tattoos, movie nights, surf trips, and so much more. So there are plenty of opportunities to meet new people, make friends, and be social there. My only regret here is that I don't know what I was thinking, but I felt like I might be able to do a dorm again. So I booked a dorm at Casa de Pepe, and I kid you not, I lasted 5 minutes. I entered the dorm, my full body was already saying like, oh my God, I don't think so. But I was like, let me try to settle in. Let me do one night. Let me see how that is. And as I was putting away like my luggage in the little storage, there's an old man that walked in and looked at me, didn't say a single word, walked to the bathroom and started peeing with the door open. So that was a hard no for me. That was like, I am not doing a dorm anymore. I just thought I could save a little bit of money and also maybe meet someone cool in the dorm, but nope. I immediately got out of there, got upgraded to a private room, and then I switched to an Airbnb, which I am now in. I will say that all the friends that I did make, I did meet at Casa de Pepe. So again, as a solo traveler and as a solo female traveler, I highly recommend. And it's my number one method to make friends is always to try and stay at a co-working hostel, a co-living, something like that. So I'd recommend that type of accommodation anyways. All right, so it is now my last day here after almost a month, like I said. So let me share my honest review of Sayulita and rate my experience here as a solo female traveler and as a digital nomad. After the first couple of days of excitement and discovering had passed, I quickly realized that Sayulita is a very laid-back surf town, but it definitely has a strong party vibe and the nightlife is really vibrant. To be honest though, other than surfing and partying, there's not that much to do here, as for one, it's really small, and two, the lifestyle here pretty much consists of surfing and touristy activities, which again, there's not that many of. I did a surf tour with Casa de Pepe at La Lencha. I went there twice because it was absolutely unbelievable. First of all, it's a more private beach, a lot less busy than the Sayulita beach. The waves waves are perfect for beginners, and it was just an amazing experience. So that's something that I really highly recommend doing. And honestly, if it wasn't for my shoulder injury, I think I would have gone a third time, and I would have tried surfing at the main beach in Sayulita as well, even if it's a little bit crowded. I did do a guided tour hike to the Malpaso beach, which is a gem, and I ended up crying in front of the most beautiful sunset I have ever seen in my whole entire life. So I highly recommend. The sunset literally sets in front of you in the ocean. It was a Lion King moment, breathtaking. And other than that, I did some yoga, chilling at the beach, some shopping. I got a tattoo. And also, I did enjoy some partying, going out, being social, all of that. And it was great. Everything is walkable, so it's really easy to get around town. And it's also really easy to recognize the little restaurants and the places that you want to go to. So after a while, I kind of knew where everything was in the town, and that made my life really easy as a digital nomad. Sometimes it can be really complicated when you have to like rent a car or a bike. Here, I'm gonna say it's mostly golf courts and little motorbike, but I don't like motorbikes, and I was so happy that I didn't have to rent a golf court and that I could just walk everywhere and anywhere. I also personally did enjoy the fact that Sayulita is really laid back and chilled, and I personally really enjoyed slowing down for a couple of weeks, taking it easy, like trying to go at the pace of the locals, and that to me felt really good. On my third week here, I had to get back to work, and this is honestly where things started to get a little bit more complicated. So I quickly realized that Sayulita does not like digital nomads. This place is great for tourists and travelers, but I could not find a single cafe where you could work from. There's signs that says this is not an office, like no co-working, things like that. There's only one legit co-working space, and it's really quiet, which I really enjoyed. There's also Casa de Pepe, where they have a co-working space, but the internet was crap, and the internet is pretty much crap everywhere except for that co-working space, which I ended up spending the whole entire week at because I needed good Wi-Fi to work. So it is definitely not made or cut out for digital nomads. There's no sense of community when it comes to digital nomads. I don't think I was here long enough maybe to really get into the expat community, but definitely did not feel like there's gatherings for digital nomads or opportunities to meet other digital nomads other than the co-working space. But there's plenty of opportunities to meet other travelers and tourists, and that's great. But if you really wanted to kind of like settle down here for a couple of months, make friends and all of that, I think it would be really difficult. And the fact that the internet is crap really doesn't help the situation. So as a digital nomad, that's gonna get kind of a low scoring on my end. All right, so with all of that said and with all of that in mind, I'm gonna give two scoring here. One as a digital nomad and one as a traveler. So as a digital nomad, I am gonna give Sayulita a 6 out of 10. It's losing all of its points mainly because the internet is really bad. There's only one co-working space, and I really did not feel welcome to work or even like chill in a cafe, which made things really uncomfortable. Also, there's a lack of diversity when it comes to activities. So if you're not into surfing and yoga, and maybe hiking, there's really, really nothing else to do or very little activities to do. So you really have to come here to slow down your pace and just want to chill. But if you're an adventure traveler and you're always looking for new experiences and things like that, you're going to get bored pretty quickly here. If you're coming as a surfer or traveler tourist, then I'm going to rate it a 9 out of 10. It's awesome. It's super cute, super fun. I think people come here for short periods of times and have a blast, and that's why it would have a higher score as a traveler or tourist. Gentrification is absolutely no jokes here. And if you stay in the downtown area, you cannot escape the very high American priced items that are absolutely everywhere, the very Americanized restaurants that are everywhere, and the difference between the local culture and the gentrification happening basically is really, really obvious. However, if you do end up going a little bit further than downtown into the market, you can negotiate prices. And I bought a super cute little dress there for $28, which was super reasonable. But the same dress downtown would have been easy $120 USD and more. After speaking to the locals here, they did tell me that even them have to adapt to the American prices. They don't really do local prices amongst themselves, which a lot of countries tend to do, which I think is really, really cool and being solidary, and they should do that, but not here. Even the locals have to pay the prices that are being shown to the tourists. So it makes things really, really complicated. The guide that I did the hike with told me that he's paying 400 USD for a tiny studio that's not even in Sayulita, like further than Sayulita. And I ended up checking out like Airbnbs and getting into Facebook groups for locals and expats. What I've seen for cost of living is that a 1-bedroom apartment will easily go for 1,200 to $2,000 a month USD again. So we're really talking American, Canadian prices here when it comes to accommodation, clothing, all of that. The only place where I saw that things were a lot more affordable is food. I have been eating out every day since I've been here. I mean, I'm just in this room. I don't have a kitchen or anything, unfortunately, because I booked this so last minute. And I am eating pretty well for approximately $15 to $20 per meal. I'm having 2 meals per day and snacks. So it's quite reasonable. I get really big portions and I can get away with 2 meals a day. Lastly, I will say that the price of activities is also really fair. I spent $40 for the surf trip, which included my surfboard for 4.5 hours, the drive there, guides, all of that. The hike cost me about $30, and everything that I've looked at was really fairly priced. So my rating for the cost of living is going to be a 7 out of 10. Yes, there are certain things that are overpriced. However, you can find things for a lot cheaper. And because the food is so affordable, kind of balance itself out. Like, I've seen cheaper destinations, more expensive destinations with better amenities and things like that. So yeah, it feels like a 7 out of 10 for the cost of living. I am taking the food very seriously because I did eat out every single day. So this girl knows what she's talking about. Also, I am a Montreal foodie and I'm obsessed with food. So I really don't take the food lightly. I basically see 2 main options: classic Mexican food or classic Americanized restaurant with like pasta, burgers, steaks, all of that. It's really difficult to find like the in between. There's only, I'm gonna say, like two or three like really healthy organic kind of options where you can get like, you know, like a nice bowl, like fresh vegetables, things like that. But it was extremely limited. I really like to eat my healthy food, and I ended up always going to the same place to find those. And other than that, like I said, it's like Mexican food or Americanized restaurants. I will say the Mexican food is absolutely delicious. I had the most amazing tacos of my life here. The street food is really good, also really affordable. Like honestly, when I go out for tacos, it's $7 and I'm full, and like they're filled with meats and all the fillings, and it's just chef's kiss, really, really good. The American food, Americanized food, I mean, it's Americanized food. I honestly did not have so much of that. So, I mean, it didn't really stand out to me. So, I will go straight to the point. My rating for the food in Sayulita is no surprises here again. A 7 out of 10. I know this is starting to feel rigged, but honestly, it is a 7 out of 10. Just because after a month, I was really bored. I was like, oh my God, what else can I eat other than tacos and chiquilates, quesadillas, mole? And I really, really went above and beyond to pretty much try everything on the Mexican menu. And yeah, I mean, you go around real quick. So 7 out of 10. I think that's fair. I did really enjoy the Mexican food, but I'm ready. I'm ready for some diversity. I'm ready for some new things. And I'm ready for like loads more vegetables and like kind of go back to my diet at this point. Guys, this one is easy peasy lemon squeezy. 10 out of 10. Oh my God, the security here absolutely blows my mind. I feel very safe as a female traveler. I also feel very safe as a BIPOC traveler, as a woman of color. I will say I never felt an ounce of not being accepted here, looked at weird, or anything like that. I've never been catcalled, which especially in Latin countries is really, really, really rare. I'm usually always getting catcalled and like feeling unsafe. None of that happened here in a whole entire month. I've been wearing all the outfits that I've wanted. I've been, you know, walking around in bikinis and things like that, and I've never had a single issue. I love that you can absolutely stay on the beach past sunset and it is absolutely safe. I have walked alone at night. I have came home from partying alone at night, walking in little alleys, and I felt 100% safe here. It is by far next to Costa Rica, the place in Latin America where I felt the safest. There's Santa Teresa Nosara in Costa Rica, well, Costa Rica in general, and then here Sayulita, definitely up there. I would have no issues to recommend this for a solo female traveler. And another thing that I really like, I made friends with a lot of people that are from the LGBTQ plus community, and it is also a safe place for LGBTQ plus. So this is really warm and welcoming for absolutely everyone. And I know that it can be really scary to travel alone as a woman, but Sayulita is it for that. You will find your tribe here. You'll find other solo female travelers here. So honestly, chef's kiss, 10 out of 10. Safety, yes, yes, yes. Sayulita is a vibe. It is absolutely different from the Cancun, Playa del Carmen, Tulum. There are no hotel strips here. There are no skyscrapers. I can definitely feel more of a local West Coast vibe here, which is absolutely great. I personally love that about Sayulita. It is surrounded by nature. The locals are really laid back, super friendly, super helpful, and it just feels really free and open. The streets are, yes, loud and chaotic. Yes, at night, like I said, it's very vibrant. You will hear the parties and all of that, but also like it's not to the point where you can't sleep because it's like do do do, you know, like I've been places like that, like Bocas del Toro in Panama and things like that. Like it's definitely not like that here. So it's a really well balanced little village. I hope that it's a village. I didn't research, but I think it's a village. Yeah, it feels really well balanced. And because it is so safe, I think it brings like a really cool crowd. I've seen a lot of bachelorette parties. I've met a lot of other solo female travelers here, a lot of people from the LGBTQ community. So it makes a really cool group of diverse people all coming here. And the general vibe is a 8 out of 10. Sayulita is a really cool little village, town, not sure, gotta research that. And I think that overall, anyways, for me, Sayulita is a place that's good for the soul. I needed this. I needed to slow down. I needed to be surrounded in nature, finish my day, go to the beach, wash my day away, do some breath work and some yoga and some surfing. So for me, this trip has been extremely regenerative. It feels amazing. I would 100% recommend and come back. However, I don't really see myself coming back here to work as a digital nomad for a really long period of time. Like I wouldn't do it for, let's say, 2 or 3 months, but spend another month here. Yes, 100%. I would book the co-working space for the month and that would be me settled. I'd go surfing every single day and that's it. Life is good. Eat my tacos and my smoothies and find balance. So I hope that you guys found this video helpful. Again, this is my personal opinion, but I'd love if you can share your personal rating on Sayulita. I'm giving my rating based on my travel experiences and working here as a digital nomad as well. But I'm super curious to hear what you guys have to say about Sayulita. It is worth discovering, so come and check it out. And if you have any more questions, drop them in the comment. I'll be more than happy to answer all of your questions. Lastly, if you've made it this far in this video, I have to say, please support my small little channel by liking, commenting, subscribing, so that other people can see this video as well and know what to expect when they're gonna come to Sayulita. And also you just be supporting a small creator that is starting on her journey. And, you know, it means a lot to get some engagement on these videos and to know that someone out there is watching them. So on that note, we'll see you guys next week. Bye.